Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 12th episode of the Seattle Baseline Podcast. My name is Julian Smith. I'm with Isaac Bruce. Isaac, how are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. How about you, Julian?
Amazing. Out in the sunshine again, that exact same spot that I go to all the time. You seem to be indoors.
Indoors today. Yep, traveling out of town. Yep, in the hotel room right now.
Cool. Yeah, we've got a Rosarena again staring at
Bingo,
us.
bingo.
And yeah, I think we're just going to get straight into the news. Today, we are going to be interviewing the Tacoma Rainiers chiropractor.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be after the Julian and Isaac podcast section. We're going to clip that on. So you guys should tune in, check it out. As for the Mariners team, I've got to say we're scuffling.
Mm-hmm.
We were once at a 58% win rate. We've lost
Mm-hmm.
5 in a row so far.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear your thoughts on it, Isaac. What do you think?
I think it's classic case of the Mariners. Offense and pitching doesn't seem to be working on the same day. Some days we have pitching, some days we have offense, and it seems that right now we just can't have the same on the same day. And you're not going to win if you score 7 runs and allow 9, and then the next day you allow 1 run and score 0. That's just right. Like you have to have both every day, and I think that lack of consistency, especially against left-handed pitching, has been just detrimental for the Mariners of late. You saw what was a top 10 offense in baseball in April quickly plummet to a bottom 5 offense in May. And with that comes a lot more pressure on what's been an injured pitching staff. I, you know, it's one of those things where I think a lot of people saw it coming. I think the general consensus around the baseball community was when are the Mariners going to fall apart, not if the Mariners are going to fall apart. Um, Obviously, we have the pieces to put the season back together. It's a long season, right? It's the first week of June. We've lost 5 games in a row, not 15. The season is not over. That's not what I'm saying. But we've had a lot of injuries, especially position players, right? Brian Bliss, Luke Raley, Victor Robles, all these guys that we needed to be healthy this season and just haven't been. Julio gets hit with the line drive uh, last night off of his shin ankle area. X-rays come back negative, so he should be in the lineup hopefully in the next couple of days. But it's it's just been a rough go for the Mariners. A lot of things just haven't gone our way. Yeah.
I think coming into the season, I totally agree with you. We knew that the Mariners were going to have some hot streaks and some cold streaks, and I think
Mm-hmm.
this is what we're in right now is a massive cold streak. And obviously, the 9 series in a row win streak was a hot streak.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing for the Mariners is, I think going into the season, my thought on the Mariners was if we can stay in the game enough until the trade deadline, we can
Mm-hmm.
go get somebody and then we can rebuild the
Right.
offense from there. I think that was the whole point of maybe not spending as much in the offseason. We can
Right.
go and get somebody at the trade deadline where we
Right.
know that like this player has gone through half the season. We know
Right.
how this player is doing,
Mm-hmm.
not just a huge question mark, the same
Right.
way that we had Jorge Polanco last season. If we knew Jorge Polanco until the trade deadline, we probably would have we would have known what Jorge Polanco was going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
that's I'm not saying we did a great job not spending in the offseason, but
Right.
that was if there was any explanation to not spending in the offseason, that would be it.
Right.
And so if we literally cannot hold up to the point where we're under 500 at the trade
Mm-hmm.
deadline, we're not going to be buyers. We're sellers. We're
Right.
probably selling away Randy Rosarena. We're probably
Right.
selling away like our star guys other than the
Mm-hmm.
big contract guys. And so that's where the Mariners are. I guess we overperformed enough in the April time to hold ourselves up so far. You just
Right.
mentioned it. Our season's not over.
Mm-hmm.
when the pitching staff comes back to maybe not full force, because last season was like a crazy,
Elite.
crazy,
Right.
yeah, season. But if we can get back to being a top 10, top five pitching staff with Matt Brash, Andres Munoz in the back end of the bullpen, we'll be able to secure, like, it's not just win a game, but we can actually go and secure a game.
Right.
And that's what we're looking for. It's
Mm-hmm.
right now, unfortunate 5-game losing streak, but I think we can get back into it. I think that's the big thing. I think.
Right. 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 And I mean, at this point, it's we've got to we've got to talk about Cal Raleigh a little bit here. I mean, he now has 26 home runs, which is just ridiculous. I saw a stat this morning that he reached 25 home runs the day after 2000, the year 2000. Barry Bonds reached 25 home runs. So he has just been red hot. Good to see him, producing, but it's difficult because with the Julio injury last night, it's like the guys in front of him in the batting order, when it's Leody Tavares instead of Julio, it's just generally less guys on base for Cal to knock in when he does hit those home runs. And so he's hitting more solo home runs, which right in a 9-6 game, a solo home run doesn't mean a whole lot, especially in the ninth inning. So, you know, would love to see some more traffic on the bases. Would love to see the guys get on base a little bit more, but hopefully Julio can get back in the lineup and can continue to produce because he's been heating up. Right? I mean, 2 for 2 before he got hurt yesterday against the Angels. He's been looking good. We just have to stay healthy at this point.
And if Julio can't go today, we cannot rush him. Like
Right.
we can't afford losing Julio Rodriguez when
Right.
we are literally still waiting for Logan Gilbert. Bryce
Mm-hmm.
Miller might go on the IL any day right now with what I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing. George Kirby, who knows what he's going to do today? He
Right.
might let up 10 runs with
Right.
the way that his off-speed pitches have been going. And
Mm-hmm.
so we cannot afford to lose Julio. One
Mm-hmm.
off day for Julio is better than a 1 month injured
Right.
list.
Right.
Yeah.
Stint. Yep. Absolutely. But that's all I got. Other than the interview, of course. Julian, do you have anything else before we head on over the interview?
Nope. I think as long as we find our groove again,
Mm-hmm.
obviously the walks at the start of the season were helping. I think the
Mm-hmm.
pitchers are now working around that because they know that we're going to take more walks.
Mm-hmm.
Cole Young's improvement,
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the interview.
Yep. Have a great week, everyone. Go Mariners.
Go Mariners. Today I'm joined by Mr. Jason Kim, the chiropractor for the University of Washington Huskies and the Tacoma Rainiers. Thank you for joining us, Jason. How are you doing?
Good, Julian. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk a little bit of rehab and the baseball with you today.
Awesome. Thank you. So I want to start off with what does your job entail? Like what's the chiropractic job for specifically sports?
Yeah, so my goal is to keep them as durable as they can, right? I want them to keep to stay on the field, right? And having joints that helps them move helps with that a lot, right? So I'm there to assist the athletic trainers when I'm with teams because the athletic trainers they spend time with the players every single day. I'm there every once in a while, so I try to help them as much as I can.
So is it like the bone popping thing that I see on Instagram? Like is that what you do, or is there like more than that? Is there like a specific sports part that you have?
Yeah, good question. I like to say I do like a combination of like the chiropractic care, the bone popping that you're talking about. Those are called adjustments. soft tissue work, you work on the muscle with my hands and different instruments. And I always recommend a couple exercises for them to do to help with their mobility.
Why did you want to get into chiropractic, like specifically sports chiropractic too?
Yeah, I always been some sort of an athlete. I played baseball at Central Washington University, and I randomly hurt my back one day, and my buddy just graduated from chiropractic school, and I asked him, "Hey, can you help me out real quick?" And he did. And after one treatment, I was 99% better. So I was very intrigued at that point. Um, and I also decided to shadow other health professionals like physical therapists and medical doctors because I knew I wanted to be in the medical field somewhere.
Oh, cool. So you've always wanted to be in the medical field, and you you kind of got like the goal to get into the sports chiropractics once you knew what type of impact it had for like the sports players.
Mm-hmm.
What does a typical like game day look like for you?
Yeah, when I'm with the Tacoma Rainiers, let's say I'm there on the Saturday, their game starts at 6 o'clock. I'm there 3 hours before. So I just put my table in the athletic training room, and I just see a bunch of players as much as I can. Um, since like either position players or pitchers use the field at once, they kind of flip flop and they could come in and get treatment and stuff like that.
So building off of that, what's like the difference between when you treat pitchers and when you treat position players? Is there like a big difference that you have?
There's some differences. Of course, if you're a pitcher, if I'm treating a pitcher, I want to make sure their shoulder health is really, really good. So I look at more of that thoracic spine and how the shoulder blade and shoulder moves. And there's something called a back to wall shoulder flexion test. I gotta make sure they can do that really well. And then position players, like if I see a catcher, I gotta make sure they can squat really well. That makes sense, right? So that's involving the hips, knees, and ankles, and mid back sometimes too.
Do you do that same like you just mentioned shoulder? Do you do the same stuff with the catcher and the outfielders too? I don't know if the infielders really need that, but that kind of
Mhm.
seems like
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially the high volume guys like catchers and maybe center field and shortstop. I mean, my goal is to have healthy shoulders for them too. So there's definitely some crossover.
what's like the most common issue you treat? I mean, it must be different for like each position, but like if there's one that you want to highlight here.
Recently I've been seeing a lot of neck and low back. So these minor leaguers, they travel a lot, right? And they play 6 days a week. They have flights. They sleep in different hotel rooms and with different pillows, and their sleep schedule's all wonky. So they come in with neck and low back stuff, right? Yeah, they take a lot of swings, right? They run and sprint every day. And one of my other goals is to make sure their hips are rotating really well so they don't put a lot of pressure on their low back.
Okay. You just mentioned like your job part of your job is like to treat like the problems, but the other part is also to like make sure those problems never happen. What how much of your job is more like treating existing problems versus the preventing injury side?
Yeah, if I were to put a percentage to that, it's probably still like 80%. Like I'm treating an injury or something a little bit more involved, right? And the other 20% would be like a little bit of care, take out a little bit of tightness and prevention.
Is there like a part of that where obviously these guys are pros and so they know how to keep themselves healthy for like the most part more than maybe
Mhm.
let's say like a high schooler does? Is that
Sure. Oh,
and
for sure. Yeah. I was gonna say like, they're trying to go to the big leagues, right? So they work their butt off every single day. I know they're in their weight room often. They do their self-care. whether it's foam rolling or contrast bath, hot, cold. They see their athletic trainer very often just to make sure that they're all tuned up and ready for the next day, right?
What's something that like you would recommend high schoolers to do to keep themselves healthy, to get to the big leagues, get to the minor leagues, kind of like that?
Yeah. I mean, my goal is the same for them too. High schoolers, man, we got to figure out ways to stay on the field, right? If you have special talent and you're hurt all the time, you're probably not going to get drafted, right? Or whatever. You might get a chance here and there, but um, when teams pick you up, they look at history too, right? So nowadays, a lot of high schoolers, they kind of play kind of like a big league schedule now, right? So in the summer, I heard up to 90 games. That's a lot of games, and make sure they get their self-care. They have their own rehab guy, sports chiropractor, physical therapist to take care of their bodies, right? So I'm slowly seeing that. So that needs to be a little more frequent for high schoolers.
Do you see like a clear difference in like the ways that the pros would take care of themselves versus high schoolers, or do you think that nowadays, since there's more internet and more like information out there, that the high schoolers are sort of figuring out how to take care of themselves?
I say there's a big difference. The pros, the minor league guys, I mean, they eat, breathe baseball every day. So they don't have school, right? That takes 10 hours a day. That doesn't take 10 hours a day. So if you're a student, it's a little bit harder. Like the only time you can take care of yourself is early in the morning before school, and then late at night after your practice and games. So it is a little different. But thankfully, when you're younger, you're definitely a little bit more pliable, agile. You heal faster. So that's definitely helpful. But you'll start to see all that injuries come out, age 18, 19, 20, 21, if you don't take care of it when you're younger.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show, Jason. I hope to speak to you again. I hope we can get you back on the show. Yeah, thank you so much.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep. And Rosa Reyna says hi too.
Hey, Randy.
All right. Awesome. Have a great week, everybody. Go Mariners. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatever you get your platforms on. Instagram's there too. And YouTube is the best place. Thank you, guys.